Now, it is Up for Arts Thursday. So on Up for Arts Thursday, what we like to do is create something. So be that a coaster for your brew, or maybe a little wreath for your door. What else have we made? Everything from key rings to cups to honestly, the amount of things I've created in this studio is incredible. I've made little plastic poppies. I've done the whole thing. What we've never done actually is we've never written anything per se. We've never written a story, and actually, this is what we ask you to do constantly. We're always saying, please write us a short story. So I'm joined now by art doctor Liz Sterling, who has joined me on a number of occasions now as we've done our Up for Arts bit. So I shall say, hello, Liz.
Hello, Gail. Hi.
How are you? How's life?
All right, thanks. It's a bit hectic, but,
yeah,
just trying to adjust to each week to something different, I think. Kids at school.
Yeah.
That thing.
No, exactly. You're right. The kids are back. Everything's a little bit different. It's sort of back to it, but not back to it. I totally get that.
Yeah.
And ordinarily, when I talk to you, you prescribe me something to do. That is your job as an art doctor. You give me something that you think might enrich me in some way. Today, you tell me what have you asked me to do today? What have you asked me to bring in?
Well, we asked you, we thought objects and storytelling, so we thought this might be a new challenge, and we asked you to bring in 4 objects, and a character, a location, obviously can't bring that in, but a photo of it, an object that acts, that does something, it could be a tool or something like that, and then an object that you can choose yourself.
I see, and the idea is that from all these objects, we come up with a story. That's right, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. So often stories tend to feature those elements in a story, and we thought, it would be quite fun to look around your house and think, wonder if that got together with that, what would happen?
Aha, right. Well, I'll tell you what I've brought in.
Okay.
And in fact, you've already seen some pictures. So in front of me, I have some, this is some of my wallpaper from my kitchen, actually. And I will tell you what it is. The pattern is actually, it's old music posters, all ripped up. So like gigs, but you can't particularly make out what the gigs are, but that's what it is. It's all like old music posters of old events, right? So that's what my wallpaper is.
I love that. I thought you were outside, actually. I like that as a wallpaper.
No, it's my very busy kitchen wallpaper, only on one wall, otherwise it'd send you daft. I've also got, have you ever seen these, possibly when you've been to a Chinese takeaway, but it's a little gold beckoning cat. They're called beckoning cats, and the little arm, it moves the whole time. They're very, very light. It's this, I mean, they're made of all sorts of things. This one is actually just made of plastic. I've had it a really long time, and I think the idea is that it's people call them the lucky cats, so I think they're supposed to maybe usher in good luck, something like that. So I thought that's nice because I like it. I like how it looks. I've actually brought in a radio. The radio is from the 80s. It's from the 1980s. It's a children's radio made by Tomy. So that gives you an idea. And he's called Mr. DJ, and he's a little robot radio. And when you turn him on, I'm going to get another radio station here, potentially. That's the slight word. But when you turn him on, and you have a little bit of a shuffle about, you try and find a radio station, his little mouth moves. And his little head's supposed to move as well, but he's so old, he's stopped working just a little bit. So that's one of my characters. I've kind of got 2 characters there. And I've got some massive kitchen scissors as well, as the thing that does. So from here, my initial thoughts, I'll tell you what my initial thoughts for a story were. I thought Mr. DJ might like to go to a concert, because in these strange times we haven't been able to do that, and I thought Mr. DJ, he might be desperate to just go to a gig, because he's a musical little chap and he likes to hear lots of voices around him. He likes busyness, so I thought that might be quite appropriate. I thought the lucky cat then might be able to help him get to the gig. I didn't know what to do with the scissors, but then Then, Liz, I had a thought about this, and I thought, do you know what? This is all a bit Toy Story, and it's too flat. It's not. It's actually not doing anything other than taking literally as my objects are kind of characters.
Yeah.
I need to expand a little bit more. Have you got any thoughts on this?
Well, I was a bit worried about the scissors because I thought this is some kind of dangerous situation, or perhaps the DJ had cut things up and made the picture, or I don't know, had a bit of a wild time with the scissors. So that's where my stories always end up.
Oh, that's hilarious, because I was either going to choose the kitchen scissors or a spatula, but the fact that I've chosen scissors just suggests something much darker. And
if
then
you had a spatula, that would have been quite different. Would have been maybe a bit more of a slapstick story.
Oh, right. Well, let's
So
imagine. Yeah, I'm going to say let's imagine for a moment that we can maybe either use some scissors or a spatula. Now, in your experience of coming up with stories like this, have you come up with out good?
Oh, always. Everything is always good. Remember, there's no judgment.
No.
I think it's sort of fun, and actually, once you start doing it, you start to add to it, don't you? Or you think, oh, maybe I'll change the tool for something else. This is what I'm feeling like. And I think that's why I enjoy it, because you can mix things together. But the Art Doctors did a little film with the story that people could watch, and they could decide if it's good or not. And we made it up on the spot, whether you can tell.
Well, the thing I liked about it was, because I'm always asking people to come up with short stories. I liked it because it gives you a focus. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't know what to write about, just having a few props around makes you, or like sort of forces you to be a little bit more focused, rather than sit there with a blank piece of paper and go, hey, what can I write about? And I'll tell you, I've not written the story, but I'll tell you now where I ended up. But although it did not come instantly, like I said, the one that came instantly was the one that I just told you about. Once I let it filter through, I left it. I mentally left it. I just sort of parked it and I walked away. And I started thinking about my little radio character. And I thought, well, he's a DJ from the 80s. And I thought, actually, what I could do with him is I could create this character, and he's like a wedding type DJ. He's like a DJ who takes his records around, but he only does 80s music. Yeah. So whenever he goes round, all he does is he does 80s. He mixes them all in together, so they're cool. Yeah. So he does 80s music. He dresses up totally 80s. He's got like a really colourful, bright shirt on. He's got the thin tie. He's got white jeans on. He's got very 80s hair with the flashes in it. So I'm imagining this sort of this character. So he's a bit of a fun character. And then one day he meets a cat, and the cat seems to beckon him, and the cat seems to hypnotise him to the point where suddenly he feels as though he can hear the cat talking to him. And the cat is saying, you can have a wish, basically. So it's something to do with that. You can have a wish. And I'm going to transport you to a moment in history. And that is where my wallpaper came in with the poster, with the posters, and I thought, if you were an 80s DJ and you wanted to be transported to any moment in history, where would you like to go? And I found myself 1985, Wembley Stadium, Live Aid. And I started to create a story around this guy who finds himself at Live Aid and sort of changes the day somehow. So it doesn't quite go how it actually went at the time. So that, Liz, is pretty much where I got to. Apart from, I still don't know what to do with the scissors. The most I could come up with is that I thought I could maybe at a push trim Freddie Mercury's moustache. So that's
yes.
Yeah. So
That's what I travels through time to do.
oh my gosh, what's in my tea today?
Actually, what you could do is you could have a range of objects, and each object has a different ending. You know, like stories with different endings depending on what object he finds himself with at Live Aid.
Yes.
Oh, I think you're a natural, Gail. I think
do you?
You're yes, I totally do. I think that's ace. I think you've got to make this storybook now.
I might do. I might get into all sorts of rights issues. That's the only thing, isn't it? You know, when you start delving into the worlds of, I don't know, Live Aid, music, history, all that sort of thing. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed it. So if anybody would like to have a go at writing us a short story, may we suggest that you start in that way? So just remind us, Liz, what are the objects you need to get from your house?
Okay, so the first object is a character, which could be a toy, an ornament, something sort of figurative, could be an animal or other. A location, which could be something that represents a location. It could be a plant or a shelf, or like a beach, but it could be, like you say, a wallpaper or a bit of a room. Mm-hmm. An object that acts, so an object that makes something happen, like you have the scissors, so it could be a tool or it could be a utensil, it could be anything. And then an object of choice, so you can throw yourself a little wild card in. And I love that idea of the cat having the sort of magical power. Yeah. And that hypnotizing is like the arm. When they swing their arm, it is quite a hypnotizing thing. So I think that's spot on. So those are the 4 things, and just let them speak to you and have fun with it, I think.
So true. So they did speak to me. If people want more information about being an art doctor and what you do and where you're able to do it at the moment, what's the best thing to do, Liz?
So they can still go to artdoctors.org.uk to the website with information there, or follow us on Instagram at art_doctors, and you can come to us there.
Wonderful.
So we're round and about. And there is a storytelling film on YouTube. If you can go through the Instagram, that'll take you to it, which is our version, which I'm not sure if it's as good as yours, to be honest.
I'm sure it is. Liz, as ever, thank you so much for your time. Always wonderful to talk to you. Always extremely creative. Thank you so much. You take care. And